Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and stay tuned by clicking the bell icon. Heartstopper Easter eggs. Here are some things you may have missed in Season 2. Season 1 of Heartstopper was a super hit because of its accuracy to the graphic novels and how perfectly the actors fit their roles. On top of that, all the little details, from the LED lights that read music above Charlie's bed to the exact same poses in the Polaroids from the beach date, down to the little drawings that pop up every time Nick and Charlie are feeling their feelings, are extremely exciting for long-term fans, as well as new details to look forward to for people who skip the graphic novels. Now in Heartstopper Season 2, we focus more on the scenes that are exactly the same as the graphic novels, and also the little callbacks to Season 1 that you may have found familiar, but not realized why. Heartstopper Season 2 diverts a little more from the books, because there's a bigger interest in other main characters as well, whereas the book solely focuses on Nick and Charlie. Additionally, Imogen's character isn't even in the books, so all of her parts were super fresh for OG fans. 1. Blue and yellow. Everybody already knows that blue and yellow are Nick and Charlie's colors, but in Episode 1 of Season 2, they do a switcheroo, and Nick wears the yellow t-shirt, whereas Charlie wears a blue one, possibly symbolizing their influence on each other. Later in Paris, when it's raining, we see the iconic blue and yellow umbrella from the day Nick admitted to Charlie that he liked him in Heartstopper Season 1. 2. Al Rude. It seems Yao's little Scottish accent, while calling Elle rude, was not just popular with the fans but the filmmakers too, so they brought it back this season. In the first episode, when Teo is giving Charlie relationship advice, Elle calls him out for doing so without having ever been in a relationship. 3. You're good at the falling over part. We know Charlie doesn't love rugby, but he'd do anything to be with Nick, so this season he returns to the rugby team. Nick admits Charlie is good at the falling over part, and Charlie reminds him that he's good at the running part too. Nick's first real conversation with Charlie was to invite him to play rugby because of how fast he could run. 4. She's an ally. One of the funniest scenes from Season 1 is when Imogen is troubling Tara about her relationship with Nick. In frustration, Tara reminds Imogen that she's lesbian, and Imogen goes on to say that's great because she and Nick are pretty much dating. She then says she's an ally, and Darcy sarcastically thanks her for her service. In Heartstopper Season 2, when Nick wants to tell Imogen about him and Charlie, Darcy tells him it'll all go well because she's an ally. 5. Hanky Panky. While Nick telling his mom he's bi is a very emotional scene, a fun scene from the comics is when Charlie admits to his parents that Nick's his boyfriend. His parents then ban him from sleepovers, and his dad says there'll be no hanky-panky under his watch. Even Tori telling her dad to stop saying hanky-panky is exactly the same in Heartstopper. 6. Hoodie Stealer. Charlie is known as the guy who steals his boyfriend's hoodies, and this conversation comes about when Nick and Charlie sneak out to the park. Charlie admits he's always cold, and Nick gives him his hoodie but asks him to give it back this time because he's already not returned some of his hoodies. 7. Paris Trip. A lot of the Paris trip resembles the panels of the book perfectly. Nick and Charlie slept in separate beds, then held hands at night, and then woke up with Nick's lonesome hand just sitting there without Charlie's. Nick then calls Charlie Chard a lot more. Nick calls Charlie Mon Amour, after Charlie finds out he can speak French fluently. They also mention Paris Squad in the group chat, and fans love to just call them that as a group. 8. David. Even with so little of David, he makes a serious impression on all of us because of how different he is from his little brother. David is an awful person, and Nick stands up to him and proudly says he's bi actually. It's as if the pages from the book have come to life. Tori standing up for both Nick and Charlie is the best part of it all, though. Artist Baby Queen wrote a lot of songs for the show, and Colors of You is like a theme song for the show. While all the music in the show is incredible and adds to the feelings, bringing this song back in the last episode of Heartstopper Season 2 is a really wholesome moment. 10. Running on the Stairs. In Season 1, Nick and Charlie had a race during Harry's 16th birthday party to get away from everybody. This time there's a similar scene, but they're running hand in hand to meet Nick's dad, a sign of how far they've come. 11. The Balcony. Another fan favorite is when Nick and Charlie step out during Tara's party and try vodka for the first time. They love their quiet time, and very often, we see them stepping away from everyone and having their own little chats. 12. Supportive Straight Friend. In Season 1, when Nick helps Charlie deal with Ben, he thanks him for being a supportive straight friend. This is Charlie's way of figuring out if Nick is actually straight or not, but it's also what triggers Nick to think about his feelings towards Charlie. In Heartstopper Season 2, when Charlie's family is invited over for dinner, Nick wants to tell his dad about them, but until then they need to pretend to be platonic best friends. So Charlie reminds Nick of the supportive straight friend title, while also calling him mate and bro. 13. Chips versus crisps. How far Tao and Nick have come. In Season 1, Tao offers Nick a chip in the bowling arena, and then warns him that if he hurts Charlie, Tao will not leave him alone. In Season 2, Nick and Tao have a mature conversation, and Tao tells him about how losing his father makes him more possessive of all his friends after offering him a crisp in the same manner as the chip. 14. Tippy Toes. A fan-favorite scene from Season 1 to talk about is when Nick kisses Charlie in his bedroom before apologizing for running away at the party. Charlie gets on his tiptoes because Nick is so large. Similarly, at the end of the last episode, when Charlie's leaving Nick's house, he gets on his toes in the same way, and it's the most adorable callback to that scene. These were some of the things we noticed in Season 2 that were memorable. Which scene did you find most similar to the Heartstopper graphic novel? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments section. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share.